Welcome to the Bhava Spiritual Mission broadcast, Spiritual Renewal. I'm Ingrid Turner. This is the beautiful Lynda Mullen. She is one of our Bhava babes. She is a minister at the Bhava Spiritual Mission. She is an insanely gifted, intuitive, and medium, and she is like a backbone in our organization. And she keeps coming on here with me, and that makes me really happy. Thank you, beautiful Lynda. Anything you want to say about yourself that I missed?
No, that's quite the introduction. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's true. It's so true. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so grateful. I love coming on with you. I love doing anything we do together. Something that about you is like you're an incredibly grounding force, even over virtual. And when we've met in person, it's like being with you is just, it's easy, it's rooted, it's grounded. And you can feel that through the screen, or at least I can too. Hey, we have Darren on YouTube. Hello, darling. Thank you so much for joining. Friends, if you are joining live on the broadcast, please leave a comment. Let us know you're here so we can give you lots of love. If you're watching on the replay, hit hashtag replay so we know that you got here. Hey, beautiful Michelle finally got to a live. I'm so happy. Michelle is one of our newest Bhava babes. Welcome, Michelle, and congratulations on embarking on your incredible Bhava career. I'm so glad you're here.
Right?
I had a phone conversation with Michelle, just a little vibe check, before she joined, and it was the first time I talked to her, but it was like, bam, there she is. Oh yeah, she's one of us. Get in here. Yeah. She's so great. We have our beautiful Bob on. Hello, Bob. Bob is another one of our Bhava babes. Hello, darling. You've been with us for a minute. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for jumping on live. Yeah, friends, if you're coming on, leave a comment. Let us know you're here. Interact with this video. It really helps, work with that algorithm, which can be a little bit. So help us out. Share this broadcast out with anybody who you think would benefit from this discussion, from this community, from this energy. Let's continue to grow our community. So we are the Bhava Spiritual Mission. We are a digital church. We are here to help you live in partnership with spirit. We do that a number of different ways, one of which is me and usually another Bhava babe, as long as I can rope them in. Or sometimes it'll be just me, depends on schedules. We jump on and we do this Bhava Spiritual Mission broadcast on Saturdays, usually at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sometimes the time does adjust a little bit because schedules, but that's okay. As long as you're following the page, you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, find us on Instagram, all the places, you will be notified of any of that. So one of the ways is coming on here and sharing teachings, messages from divine spirit, channeling, prayer, healings, having discussions, answering your questions. And we do readings by donation every week on this broadcast as well, which is really, really special. We are a church of channelers. That's what we do. We live in partnership. I'm trying. We live in partnership with spirit by hooking you up directly to the infinite. And we do that by teaching you how to channel, how to tap into your gifts, how to master your energy. And the other way that we do that is through our ministry, our certification and training program through the Bhava Spiritual Mission. Now, we did just close enrollment. We have 13 beautiful Bhava babes who we are new Bhava babes who we are taking through this program. And oh my God, we are
very excited
about it, aren't we, Lynda? Oh, we're already having so much fun. Yes. But we, of course, will be opening enrollment again at some point in the future. So make sure to keep following us. You can go to our website. You can check us out there. You can get on the email list, all the things. So that being said, let's ground in and then we'll get started talking about the good stuff.
All right.
So close your eyes with me. Let's take 3 long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel all of the energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly. You just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core. And take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet. And move up your legs and pull again in the root chakra. And exhale into your root chakra. Okay, my loves, go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you love that grounding meditation, I finally remembered to put a link to it in the description of this video. Yes, I did. I've been talking about that for months, and I finally remembered today. It is totally free. That's our Bhava grounding meditation, and it really, really works. If you are one of us, you probably need to ground. So go get it. And let me know what you think of that grounding meditation too. I'm always interested to hear how it impacts people, how it affects people.
Yeah.
You know how that grounding meditation came to me? So when I had my spiritual awakening, I had this really drastic cracking open to spirit, and it completely untethered me. I just was bouncing in and out. So I spent 2 years just really, really ungrounded. And most people experience some degree of this, I think, when they have their spiritual awakening. Would you agree with that, Lynda? There's a disconnecting that can happen. Yeah, pretty routinely. Mine was really severe. People used to say to me, like, "You're really ungrounded." Like all the time. They'd be like, "Oh, are you here? Are you okay?" Because I was just like, in spirit land. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. But I was useless to everybody. And I was, I couldn't, like, people couldn't really track what I was saying and what I was bringing through. And I couldn't stay awake all day. I couldn't stay vertical. I had to like take a nap. Like my energy levels just depleted really fast.
It would zap your energies.
Yeah. And then when I was channeling, like I couldn't do a reading for somebody for an hour without going and laying down for an hour right afterwards. Wow. That's not helpful. So I was, this was for about 2 years. I was really, really ungrounded. I could not get grounded. I did everything. I'd walk around barefoot. I'd wiggle my toes. I'd jump around. I'd listen to meditate. Nothing was working. Because I was just stubbornly ungrounded. And then I was on a table with a healer, an energy healer, and she was, working, doing Reiki on me, and she got to my feet and she said, "Wow, you're really ungrounded." I'm like, "I know." Like, tell me something I don't know. And then and then I heard this voice, and it said, "Your grounding meditation is coming." Or I said, "Your grounding technique is coming." And I just relaxed. And 1 or 2 days later, I downloaded that meditation from Spirit, and I've been hella grounded ever since. Now people look at me, and now people say things to me like, "Oh, you're so grounded, Ingrid." And I'm like, "What are you talking to?" So it really does work. Yeah, Michelle's here to witness. It works. Yeah, it works great.
I do that meditation 2 or 3 times a day, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I have to do it in the morning for sure. Otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah.
Hey, folks, what do you think of our background? Me and Lynda were playing with the backgrounds on the stream, and we've decided that it's time to create something like beautiful and Bhava specific. But we're pretty pleased with this.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I think we did okay. All right.
I like it.
Okay, so what are we talking? We're having a discussion today because I had some. we're going to talk about timeline shifting, specifically collective timeline shifting. Have you ever, I mean, there's personal timeline shifting, and then sometimes there's a big collective push where it's like everybody is moving towards something new, right? I don't think that actually happens that often. I don't know, maybe it does, but it doesn't happen visibly to me very often. But I know we do a lot of that individually. That's something we work on and teach in Bhava as well for the advanced students, is like how to shift timelines. And so you can do it individually. But I was reflecting on AI today, right? And AI is like, I mean, if you have an intuitive hit about AI, I think that's really cool. Go ahead and put it in the comments and leave a comment here. I'd be interested to hear what like people think about AI. The problem with tapping into AI intuitively is it's so new and it's going to change things so drastically that people are really scared of it.
Yeah, I get a lot of fear when I tap in, and I think it's that's what you're talking about, is the collective.
There's a collective fear to AI.
Yeah, it's a collective
right?
fear of because it's the unknown, and so much of the media and movie, television, it's all been depicted as a negative.
Hi, Terminator. The machines are going to come get us. We don't want that, right?
Yeah.
And yet, so for me, and tell me if this is so me and Lynda haven't talked about this beforehand. We just kind of like chatted a little bit about what we might want to talk about, and then here we are. So we're kind of feeling this out with each other in real time. Yeah. Initially, when I think about AI, I get a little scared. Like I get a little whoa, But you like the thing about intuition. Intuition isn't afraid. Intuition isn't emotional, and intuition isn't attached. So if you have a big emotional response or a big panicky response, that is not your intuition. That is your mind and ego. Yeah. Always, 100% of the time. Now, you may feel like a fear, like dread is an intuitive kind of a feeling, more of an intuitive feeling than that like panicky feeling. That's a mental thing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't get the panicky feeling or the dread that you're talking about. I don't get that kind of a feeling. It's just that initial, that sort of hook of fear.
Yeah.
That's that. But then, if I go deeper into it, then it's I don't feel anything, truthfully.
Right. It's like it's another change, right?
Yeah, it's just something different that's going to come. And the thing is that even through our lifetime, Ingrid, like we've witnessed so many transformations. Like cell phones came into the internet. So like people were so fearful of all those things as they came in, right? And our children's generation, they adapted so well, and it's just a part of their life. It's just like their arm.
Yeah.
Like it's just a part of everyday life. It's nothing.
It just is what it is.
I think AI is eventually going to become that. It's just in the wrong hands. I think it could be really detrimental.
I think it could. And
that's where the fear comes, right?
There is definitely a potential timeline split here if we want to get into like let's get into it, right? So this brings me to got distracted. Wait, I'm coming back. Okay. This brings it right back around to like talking about timeline shifting. Here's what the realization I had today. Remember in the dark times with COVID and 2020, and you remember how what came out of the most amazing thing that came out of that really difficult period is so many people were like, I do not want to spend 40, 50 years of my life working my ass off for pennies. I want to do something different. I want to live my life. I want to be free. Out of that, which was pretty cool, was the work at home. But what came really, really quickly, like in a couple of years, all of a sudden we had AI. All of a sudden we had this technology. I mean, they've been tinkering with AI for a while, but all of a sudden there it was. And I remember when I first saw AI, I was like, a timeline shifted. Something shifted. Like I felt that like I was on a different timeline.
It felt like it happened so quickly. Right?
It felt like it happened so quickly. So it felt like a shift to me. And what I was thinking about today, because I was watching the Fran Dershner and the actors strike, right? If anybody watched her speech, holy cow, that woman's amazing. It was passionate, and like, she's really passionate. She's talking about like AI and how things are changing, and the use of AI in the acting field. And it's true across all industries. It's going to just change everything. And I reflected, I was like, oh my God, this is what we did collectively. We did this collectively during COVID, when so many people said, I don't want to do this anymore. I want a better life. I don't want to have to work like this. We're so afraid of AI taking our jobs, and we forget that, why do we need to have jobs? I don't know. Leave comments, guys, and tell us what you think of this. Tell us the hits you're getting and what's coming to you. Tell me what you feel about that, Lynda, as you're listening and you're tapping in.
Well, I actually took a leave of absence from my job.
You did. So. You did. But collectively, like, when everybody was saying like, people were working from home, or they were laid off, or whatever it was, and then people were like, had a chance to rest, and they were like, I don't want to do this in my life anymore.
Because I think they had a chance to really think about things. They had a chance to have some downtime.
Yeah. And that hasn't been built in.
That was forced, right? We were forced to have this downtime. Yeah. And so all of a sudden now it's giving us different perspective on what's important in life and and where we want to be.
Yes.
So, it's really, I think it was really important.
I agree.
Because I think people were burning themselves out. Now, there's always going to be those people who want to work and who love their job, and, who want to stay on track and do that 40 to 60 hour work week. That's great. But
if you're doing what you love, that's fantastic. We want to work a whole bunch if we're doing what we love. But the majority of people have been conditioned and trained to get up and, it starts all the way in childhood. You get up, you go to school. You get told like where to sit, how to dress, show up every day, and then
they're training you to do. They're training you to work, to work in the workforce, right?
Yeah, and it's for the dogs, right? So some of us like kind of grok to that and have tried to move away from that, But I think that COVID, so many people started to realize that that's not what they wanted, and they wanted a better life. And I think we manifested or shifted into a timeline where AI is becoming a reality that is, without a doubt, going to destroy our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
to some level, yeah, for sure.
I think my feeling is to a huge level. Now, here's what do we do with that? Okay. If we are living in fear, we go down a path of serfdom. We go down a path of the, billionaires and probably soon to be trillionaires, running the show, and the rest of us sort of like scrounging around, trying to figure it out. Yeah. Or we move down another path, one of community and unity, one of love and leveling each other up. Like, everybody rises with the water, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the crossroads where we're at now. So the question is, where do we want to shift into? Do we want to shift into this dystopian, oh my God, AI took our jobs and we can't feed ourselves? Or do we want to shift into this utopian, AI took our jobs, we don't have to do that shit anymore. We can live lives pursuing what we love, doing things that are passionate. AI has the potential to inspire humanity to be more creative and innovative than ever, because AI is not creative. AI is an aggregate, is a really fast database, right? Mm-hmm. In its current iteration. And so it's, pulling from billions of data points to spit something out, but that's not creativity. Creativity is channeling spirit. Mm-hmm. Creativity is bringing it through and making vibration physical.
And, I have a lot of creative friends. I was in a creative industry. So I have a lot of friends who are creative. And one of them posted on Facebook the other day about how, creative people have to have their downtime in order to be creative. Yeah. So to work a 40-hour work week, you can't be creative on demand.
No, it comes when it comes.
It comes when it comes. And so if you're in that creative space, then you do need that downtime. You can't be creative when you're chained to your desk for 40 hours every week and expect to produce these amazing campaigns or whatever it happens to be, right? And this person is actually a graphic designer. So, and he works in advertising. So
Yeah.
it was really interesting to see that. And it's so true. It's so true. You
Yeah.
know, like we all need our downtime in order to have creative thoughts so that we can put them into action.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have I mean, you know that with your poetry.
Poetry comes when it comes,
Exactly. You don't,
I go through months.
It's not on a schedule.
Yeah, months sometimes. I won't write anything. And then all of a sudden I'll have like a flurry of like, 15 a day or something. Yeah, it comes when it comes. Yeah, exactly. And so let's bring it back to the now, to the choice that we have. This is a really good opportunity with AI coming and kind of slapping us in the face. And every time we hear about it, I think all of us are go, ooh, a lot of us, most of us feel a little jumpy about AI, even if we understand that it's going to be okay. Right? Kelsey says, I feel that way about content. Can you elaborate on that, babe? Do you mean like deep fakes and stuff like that? That's probably what she means, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Because there's so many videos out there nowadays where they've got, celebrities talking where
they're getting really, really good at it.
Yeah. And you're looking at it going, that their voices, their mouth isn't saying what they're
but they're going to perfect that in no time.
Oh, I know.
So what do? I mean, we can sit here and we can go, oh my God, it's coming. They're going to do deep fakes. They're going to trick us. They're going to enslave us. And, that's what we do when we hear about something that's brand new, because it's very human to be afraid of what's different. That is why we have sexism and racism and all of that shit, tribalism and wars, is because humans are hardwired to be wary of what is different. It's a survival tactic that we take to the extreme, but we're doing that with AI because it's our lizard brain kicking into high gear. That's okay. Soothe it and then consciously move from a place of fear and doomsaying to love and possibility.
Yeah.
And create that future. We may not know how the whole content thing is going to be managed and deep fakes are going to be figured out, but we know that it will, because we can line up with that. And all it takes to line up with that is a decision to line up with it.
Yeah.
Because everything is created in the now. How does that feel, Tid? What do you guys think? What do you think, babe?
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, I stopped watching the news a long time ago.
Oh God. Yeah. No, we don't do that.
So, because it's so fabricated. It's, each of the news stations, radio, whatever it happens to be, they take the news and they manipulate it to what, at least that's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like it's already deep fake.
Not to mention, they always focus on the negative. There's very few things that they say, oh, this person did this today and it was a good thing. It's usually, oh, there's been a murder, there's been a car accident. It's like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. Because
they're cherry picking the things that are going to get a rise out of people, because that's what gets people watching. Because once your fear brain is engaged, it's addictive. It's like your survival brain comes in and goes like, I got to pay attention to this or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But it's, and something I feel like is happening is like, we're like in this in-between place in our evolution as human beings, as Homo sapiens. I feel like we are in between this period of like survival focus and this period in our history of, it's just something utopian, like expansive, higher thinking, if you will, which isn't quite the right phrase, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And so we're in this in-between place. And what we are doing is every time we choose love over fear, every time we honor that survival instinct and then soothe it and move into a different vibration, we are rewiring our DNA, which we are then passing on to our children and their children and their children. So it's really important work that we're doing. We, at this point in our evolution, have a choice, but we do got to work it. Like, we got to work it. But I think there's going to be a time when humans don't have to work it anymore. It's just a place where we naturally sit.
I think there's going to always be that group of people who are stuck in that sort of fear-based. It's going to take a lot of healing, I think, for everybody to get on board with, just being on the good side of things,
Yeah.
The love side of things, I guess you could say.
I hope that what I'm hoping is
it's sooner.
I hope it's bred out of us by those of us restructuring our DNA by choosing love. That's what I'm hoping for.
Is the work with I think the work that we're doing too, it has a ripple effect, right? Because we're affecting the people that this broadcast gets to, that the people that we interact with, and then it's rippling out and out and out, and then all the people that we affect, affect other people. So it's I'm hoping that the work that we're doing and the things that we engage in are creating that hopefulness.
Well, let's tap into it. Let's tap into it and find out. Okay. Let's do this all together on this stream. Let's tap into that. Let's tap into, just breathe and drop into your heart and find that place of unconditional love, a deepness in your heart. And just feel for the answer. Like, what stream are we on? What's our decision? Where are we headed? And push through what is, what has been, the fear, the back and forth.
I keep seeing myself jumping to the other side of the world.
Interesting.
It's weird, like literally, like jumping out of my heart and over to. I see. I don't think it's India, but it's somewhere in that area.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. It's a little hard to like really dive into that while we're on a live stream. We're kind of on, but like after the fact, can you please tap into that later and just like send a message to the group, to the Bhava group, so we can like that's interesting.
I couldn't get past it. It was just okay. I see that. Okay, let's see what else. Right
there it is.
Nope, this is what we're doing.
Michelle left an interesting comment that's in that vein. She says, "I see myself standing on a waterfall. It's scary because I can't see the bottom. Doesn't feel like anything bad. It feels like the edge of a new undiscovered forest." And she said this when we're talking about AI, I believe. I feel, when I push through the bullshit, and there is bullshit, my friends, there is, okay. But when I push through, it's like, oh, it's okay. We're good. This is an incredible place we're in. It's an incredible time to be alive. Kelsey said, I prayed a few years ago and asked God why. Why is all this happening right now? I guess that's in relation to COVID, right?
Right.
And the answer was, why do you think World War II had to happen? Fear keeps us trapped. There have been huge events around every time the collective was waking up again. I got that hit about World War I, Kelsey. That same kind of message from Spirit. But it wasn't World War II. It was World War I that I picked up, which I thought was really interesting. Like there was a parallel energy.
Well, if you notice, though, that seems to happen every time there is a shift, right? Like it's It's like the people who want control are creating the fear mongering, right?
Or even the piece of us that wants control, like the piece of the individual that wants control, the ego self that is like, what are you doing? Get back in your box. This is not manageable. And so collectively we create that, and then, of course we have this hierarchical society. So of course there's going to be people at the top tapping into that and going, oh, that's what we want to do. And then that ripples down. But I think we all contribute to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, it's such an amazing time to be alive. So here's what we want to make sure and do, what I'm committing to, especially when it comes to AI and really being conscious of the timeline I am expecting to live on. By the way, when I experienced another timeline shift, it was when Donald Trump was being elected president. Yeah. Like that was so out of like whack for me. And this isn't about politics. This is about like, that's what
the mindset of the people that did that, It was like we were watching the news at a bar. I was out with my friend and we were sitting there and we're like, okay, Hillary's ahead. She's going to win. And we left. I dropped him off at home and I went to my home and I was like, no way. Like what?
So I remember the night before, my son and I were watching election results, and I was like, "Look, Hillary's ahead. It's fine. It's fine. Like, that's just what I had." And I went to bed, and I woke up, and I was like, and then Turner comes in his phone. He goes, "Mom, Trump won," and I went, "No, he didn't. That didn't happen."
Yeah, no,
but it was actually before that, when it was leading up to it. It was like I kept seeing these Trump for president signs, and I remember thinking, I feel like I'm in another dimension. This feels really weird. Like this is wacky. But what's interesting is like this dimension is about like the timeline that we're on. Like we are shifting as spiritual beings, we are shifting into timelines all the time that are closer and closer and closer aligned with our most radiant, authentic selves. Even the stuff that we don't agree with or that scare us or that we think is like doomsday stuff, you know, that's in service to our most potent lived experience on that timeline, in that, you know, dimension, if you will. But anyway, so circling back to my commitment with AI is to really focus on the potential for love, community, and unity, and the AI supporting a new Earth. I did a reading several years ago, and somebody asked me, you know, what the future held for humanity. She was really scared and almost crying because she just had held so much fear about what was coming. And when I tapped in, I said, you know what? Their spirit is telling me that in 50 years, we're going to be integrating technology with nature in a benevolent way. I don't know what that means, but that's what's happening. And I think AI has something to do with that.
Interesting.
I feel like you look skeptical.
I'm just trying to understand how that might happen.
I don't understand how it's going to happen either, but I have talked to Spirit enough and had so much validation from Spirit over the years that I'm like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
My commitment is to really focus on those, you know, utopian possibilities and probabilities and, you know, with AI and what that can do for us as a collective, because it could free us from our own bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be cool. You know, when we, you were part of the Bhava group in 2020 spring. I don't know if you remember this, but I think you were probably one of them. A whole bunch, the Bhava WhatsApp group blew up one morning because everybody woke up with this like, oh my God, something shifted. Did you feel that?
Yes.
You remember that, right? We all woke up and went, what was that? What was that? And it was about spring solstice 2020. And that was when the earth popped into a new paradigm, into a new earth energy. And everybody in the Bhava mission felt it over the course of 1 or 2 days. I think some people felt it one, and then some people felt it the day after. But it was like, oh my God, the heart was open. And when we popped into that, I had this stream of messages and premonitions coming through. And the what's one of the things Spirit said to me in this time is, you're not going to be using money as much in the future. You're going to be building communities with each other. You're not going to be depending on the government like you have been before. Spirit said the government structures will still be there, but you won't be participating in them. You won't need them. You'll be taking care of each other. And Spirit said, you know, you won't be using money in the same way. And Spirit said it won't be a barter system. No, it won't be that. It'll be something. And I couldn't get what it was. And then Spirit said, in 3 years, it'll be starting. Mm-hmm. Hello, that was 3 years ago. And I'm putting this together going, oh my God, like that's what I think is going to happen. What AI is one of the things that's going to precipitate that for us, but we have to choose that.
That's part of my notes when I channeled today.
Oh my God, tell me more.
So when I channeled today, I was, I wrote, you know, growing our own food, more community, people doing more of what they love, people supporting each other in community. Yeah, home is becoming more important.
Yeah.
Than work, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just funny how you
look at that. It's like getting the same stuff. I mean, that's what I feel like. That's the potential here. And frankly, given that you and I are channeling the same things, and I'm seeing the comments here come in, it's like, I feel like this is where we're headed. I feel like when we feel the fear, it's a very normal human experience, and we don't have to buy into it. When you have big fear like that is like clouding you, it's not your intuition. No. It's your brain. It's your ego. The mind is not a happy making machine. It's a survival machine.
Yes. Oh my God. And I like not watching the news. That's all part of it for me. I've stepped away from a lot of the, you know, drama of the world, and just try to live my own life in my own little bubble. And I know I have to deal with what's going on outside. So I'm aware, but I don't let it permeate into
no, you can't do it.
My my being and my the way I feel, the way I want to feel, the way, I don't allow it. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't either. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I don't look at headlines. Nope. I do not need to know. No. If I need to know, it'll make its way to me, but I'm not going to go seek that nonsense out.
Yeah.
So I want to, as we start to wrap up this conversation, leave a comment and tell us one thing that you're going to do, one action step you're going to take this week to move yourself into even more of a state of love. When you feel the fear coming up, whether it's around AI or anything else, what's something you do that you can use to move yourself into a state of love? So for me, it might be grounding, dropping into my heart, smiling. I found making eye contact with strangers is really helpful.
Yeah.
What do you got? What are some suggestions you got?
You know what? It's funny. My husband and I go out to places and we have the most amazing interactions with people just because of who we are and the energy we bring. We had a waitress, we watched her with other people in the restaurant yesterday, and the way my husband's a jokester, and she just, went right at him and was having fun with us. We were just being playful. It was so fun. So I think I'm just going to keep doing that.
Playfulness.
It's so important to be fun and playful. And
oh my God, it is. And we forget. And here's the thing. If you're tapping into spirit, are they ever like not playful? Like, do you ever have a super serious like discussion with divine spirit? Never. Every time it comes through, it's like we're laughing, we're playing, we're bringing. I mean, I get poked at and made fun of, but like in this really loving kind of a way. Oh my God. I have this new whiteboard in my van that I channel on every day now. It's really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. This one says, you can trust yourself. Time does not exist. Breathe and honor every experience. Move when you need to move. Rest when you need to rest. You can trust yourself to get everything done when it needs to be done. Time does not exist. Remember this and stop being a slave to an illusion.
Look at that.
Yeah, there's my little message from spirit today.
I like it.
We got Darren's going to talk to people more when he's out. Michelle, grounding and gratitude practice. Oh yeah. Getting present this week. Darren, engage with people in hopes it brightens their day.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful, my friends.
I love it.
Yeah. It's so simple to move from fear to love. It just takes a decision and then it happens.
Yeah.
It's just not hard.
It's so much easier to do that than to be angry and fearful. And
yeah.
And it just makes you feel better.
And why do we not want to feel better? We do want to feel better. We always,
right?
We're here for, I feel like, we're here to live our lives in joy.
Absolutely.
We're also here to have the full spectrum of the human experience. But when you're present for every experience, you don't live in fear. You live in the present, and every experience brings you back to love. Grief brings you back to love. Anger brings you back to love. Everything when you're present for it ultimately brings you back to love.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else you got to add? What else is coming through, my love? Anything?
No, I just, I laugh a lot, and
yes,
I love it. It's so much better that my life is so different. Just even since I met my husband. I mean, I've known him for a long time, but since we reconnected with each other, and he's so playful. It just reminds me every day to be playful. He's like a little boy, like sometimes
I met him. Yeah, he is. He's great.
He knows when to be serious, but you know what? He really loves to play, and it's taught me a lot.
That's great, because I feel like you're a person kind of like I am, who tends towards more seriousness and responsibility and and we need people like that around us who remind us to play. My son was really good for me the 3 weeks we were in Nashville together, because he was so he would just remind me, especially at the beginning, I was getting really head up because I was like, we got to do this, we got to do that, and I was like trying to manage everything, and he goes, Ma, chill, let's just have fun. And I was like, we could. He goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. And the rest of the time was brilliant and playful and goofy. We had a wonderful time. But
awesome.
I had to be reminded of that. Mm-hmm. Kelsey says, same. My husband is so goofy and funny. It has been very healing experience for me. Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like
beautiful.
That.
All right, my sweet loves, how do we feel? I feel pretty complete with that conversation. Is there anything else you want to add, my love?
No, I think we covered a lot.
I think so. Would anybody like a reading? We can do a few readings by donation if you want one. We don't have any donations yet, so let's stay on for a couple of minutes, give people time to get a reading if they want to. If you want a reading, do me a favor and leave a comment so we know that we're going to read for you, because since we don't have any on our list, we're maybe going to sign off in a minute. You good with that?
I'm good with it. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever works.
Whatever's clever. That was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Bob says, I don't see the link. Okay. I put it in the description of the video. Let me put it on. Boom, boom. There we go. Try again. PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. They will all work. And this is a way that we are one of the ways that we at Bhava get to come and be of service with our gifts to as many people as we can in a really accessible way. Showing up and doing these broadcasts and creating content and then doing readings by donation. That energy exchange, even if it's a little one, is really important for the flow. For the flow to come through for channeling and readings. It just is. So, Bob, did you decide you were going to get a reading? Michelle's going to get a reading. Okay. Michelle, the link is on the description of the video, in the description of the video, the PayPal link, and also it's there on the screen. I should warn y'all, my battery is at 27%.
Oh dear.
So yeah, donate any amount you want and be happy to do a reading for you. Sarah, awesome message to bring to my family this week. Thank you. A lot of seriousness going on. I will add some silly and fun. Yes, do it. Get weird, honey. Just get weird. I mean,
Yeah, embarrasses my son sometimes when I get weird. I'll do silly things when we're out, and he's like, Mom.
I know. It's really, moms are really hard. I mean, I am almost 40, and okay, I go out with my mom. I love my mom to death, and we have a great time. And she still says things sometimes that make me go, but it's not her, it's me. It's absolutely a me problem. Okay, beautiful Sarah has donated for a reading. Okay, my sweet Sarah. Sorry, not Sarah. Michelle, darling. Michelle, if you have a question, let us know. She said love and money, you sweetheart. Okay. What does our beautiful Michelle need to know? Okay, Michelle, I feel a lot of yummy energy in the heart. I feel that love. I do. You have so much love. And it's really your heart is opening in a profound way, especially recently. I feel like you're really reconnecting with this well of love that you possess. Like, I feel like you've always been a really loving person, deeply, authentically loving person. And you really closed yourself off to that for quite a while. Like, you tried to move away from that, and that's coming back, and you're reconnecting with that very real, pragmatic, authentic, grounded love that you have for everybody around you. And I mean, everybody, you feel this way about everybody, even people who maybe some would say don't deserve it, or people who don't even necessarily care about you, that like you still feel this sort of baseline of love for other people. And it's you're really opening yourself up to it again after closing it off for some time. And Spirit wants to basically give you a howdy do, well done. You go, girl. There's a celebration going on with this, and you're not done. You're just opening back up to this. So what you're experiencing now, this baseline of love, is going to deepen and deepen and deepen and widen and widen. And you're also going to end up going through some grief, because some grief has to come up and be processed and released in order for you to continue to widen and deepen. So Spirit wants you to know you are going to hit that wall of grief. And when you do, don't stop. Keep going through it, because grief is another version of love. Okay. And you will discover that. We just mentioned that earlier. You will discover that as you move through it, honey. So know that it feels really good. And Spirit is just giving you a little warning, a little heads up that the grief is coming, and to let you know it's fine. you're going to move through it. You'll move through it quickly, and you will get to the other side, and everything will be good and right again. You will have that you'll feel that love again, but you'll have a little blip, and I think that's going to come up pretty soon, because Spirit is talking about it, and they tend to talk more in the now, what you need to know right now. So I'm pulling some cards for you. Oh yeah, babe, you are on the path. Yes, you are, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You are on the path. You are on the path you were born to be on. Like, you have found your calling, your passion. You are on the path with your purpose, is what I'm getting. I just saw in my head the G Center in human design. I don't know if yours is defined or not, but they're showing it to me as like purpose driven. Like, you have that, your purpose.
Can't hear you.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So, Michelle, bitch is back. All right. Well done, my sweet. Okay, bouncing you over to Lynda.
So I got this blasting open of my crown chakra when I tapped in. It was like, whoa, that's a lot of power. And then I felt the spirit coming through me as it was like it was gathering everything and bringing it into my body. And when you started talking about love and how she's stepping back into that part of it, it felt like that really resonated. And that I think this grief part really rely on your spiritual practice, and really rely on it guiding you through it, because that's what it felt for me.
Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, that grief is it might surprise you, babe. I think that's why Spirit is bringing it up. It's not something you expect, and you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Like, it's fine. Okay. Thank you, beautiful Michelle. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service to you. Big love to you. Okay. We have beautiful Bob Becker would like a reading. And Bob, if you have a question, you can let us know in the comments. And if anybody else would like a reading, please leave a comment and let us know, and then donate any amount to PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Okay, beautiful Bob. What does our beautiful Bob need to know? Okay, I just took a deep breath in. It's interesting because I'm like in the, swampy south where it's all humid. But when I took a breath in, I experienced this cool mountain air. You need to get up high in the mountains if you can, or if not, like physically get there, take yourself there, mentally, sort of like astral travel there. If you need to take deep breaths of fresh air, just get this gulping fresh air. It's like you're bringing your power in, bringing the power of the whole freaking planet into your body. It's going to help you ground in. It's going to help you clear out some stuck energy that you've got going on in your body. I feel you holding a lot in your hips, in your root. There's a lot of heat and weight there. And you're having a little bit of a hard time moving that last remnant of stuck energy that's not yours. It's just like it's a buildup of some codependency that you've been taking on in your lifetime. And you're just having a little bit of a hard time moving that energy. Get outside into fresh air. High altitude would be best, Spirit is saying. But if you're not able to do a high altitude, then just, do what I did, which is just feel the energy of that. Feel it. It'll come to you. Take deep, deep breaths and just breathe it out. And I'm getting to do cycles of this. Like I'm getting waves and cycles. Just very specifically go outside and just and do that as many times you feel like you need to. I feel like it's gonna, you're gonna want to do it like 10 times to start and to really clear that energy out. Spirit says that will really, really help you. So you've just got some stuck energy there, and it's in the root, the groin, the hips, the pelvis, like all that area of your body. It's where you have inadvertently taken on responsibility and energy and emotions and trauma, other people's traumas, people who you love. And I'm not sure you realize that you did this, and you might be coming to feel it more now. It might be sort of making its way known to you in emotional ways. So Spirit is just giving you a practice to help you clear that. Folks, our breath is so powerful. It is so powerful. All right, let me pull some cards for you. Oh, yummy. Okay, good. Oh, Then we got the devil. So, okay, that's a problem with these backgrounds. A little hard to show the cards. But essentially what you got, honey, is you have, the Empress and you have the Mother of Cups. You have emotional maturity, emotional availability, so much love. That heart of yours is wide open. Mm-hmm. You have the same card that Michelle had when I saw that and I said she's on purpose. You've stepped onto your purpose path too. Now it's slow going for you right now because of this clearing that you're doing. As soon as you're able to clear this out of your body, you're going to start moving forward on your path very quickly. I just got another hit for you. It would be really beneficial for you to see an energy healer, like a really good energy healer, male energy healer in person, in order to help you clear some of this energy out of your body. And then it's going to be up to you to keep it out. And that you do with your protections, your energetic wetsuits, your grounding, your spiritual practice. All right, babe? Okay, I'm going to bounce you over to Lynda.
So I got this big weight on my right shoulder, which makes me feel like you're carrying a lot for other people that you don't need to be carrying. And then I got this big weight in my chest as well, that you're having trouble breathing in the circumstances that you're in right now, and that my throat was closing up, which usually means for me that you're not speaking your truth. You're not saying what you need to say in those circumstances. So when Ingrid talked about the clearing, there may be some conversations that need to be had around some of that stuff that you're trying to clear out. Mm-hmm. That's what I was getting.
Yeah, I feel that. That feels accurate. How do you feel, Bob? I'm also getting, you need a little extra support right now. I'll DM you. You're one of our Bhava babes, so we'll see if we can get you a little extra support right now. I think you would agree with that. He needs a little extra support.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give Bob a hug.
I wonder where he's going to get that extra support from. We have this pool of mentors. I'll have to choose one for him. I wonder who it'll be.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Lynda, I love your laugh. When you laugh, I feel like it brings me right to the present moment, and I just feel so exhilarated when you laugh. I love your laugh. Okay, I think that's it. Let me just check, but I think that's it for our readings today, my loves. That's okay. I mean, it turns out I have a whopping 19% battery, so that probably worked out. Didn't plan that as well as I'd like to. So that's the thing, living on the road. In my van, I live in an RV, so I have power, but I only have like the good power for like my AC and to charge computers when I'm plugged in. Yeah. But like the point of an RV is to be on the move, right? So I only plug in when I like drain the battery, which is probably not the best thing to do. But anyway, that's why. Bob, working home way too much. Got to get back to my nature walks. I so appreciate all of you. We appreciate you, beautiful Bob.
Yes, absolutely.
Lynda, thank you so much for being here and lending your energy to this live stream and your magic and your channeling and this incredibly potent discussion. It was really fun to have. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for participating in your comments. Again, if you're watching the replay, make sure and leave a comment so that we know you're here, and share this broadcast out with anybody who you think would benefit from this conversation tonight. Let's grow our community. There's a lot of us out there and we haven't all found each other. And the beautiful thing about the internet and social media is it brings us together. I just met a client of my longtime client of mine in person today because we both happen to be in the same city. That happens all the time, doesn't it, Lynda? Me and you did that twice in different states, and you're not even from the States, right? No. That's what happens, right? So we met each other in person. And it was so normal and natural. We were like, hey, what's up? Yeah, what'd you do? Oh, cool, Greg, yeah. And then we look at each other and we're like, we've never met in person. Here, give me a hug, you know? That is so weird. That happens over and over and over again. So, but we're finding each other online for the most part. Yes. So we share this out, bring people in who you think would be a good match. Because if they're a strong match for you, they're likely to be a strong match for all of us because the tribe is coming back together.
Absolutely.
Bhava babes. Okay. Anything else you want to add or share, my love?
No, I think you've said it all.
We did it. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you, beautiful Lynda. I fucking adore you all. See you all next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.